Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited. It is Tuesday, May 16th, 2017, and tonight was Smackdown Live. It was the go-home show for Backlash this Sunday, and as far as the go-home shows go, really wasn't that great. I mean, go-home show was supposed to get you hyped for the upcoming pay-per-view, and honestly, I'm no more hyped than I was before going into this show, because the things that interest me right now are, can Jinder really get this title? There is a chance that Jinder could win the championship, and two, I really just want to see AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens, because that match could be great. But let's see who's with us here in the chat right now. We've got Andres Suicida, Mr. Vampire, Christian Rossett, excuse me, Gertrude, Robert Cathy, Christy Wilson. Robert Cathy says Tim asked us to be here and he's late. That's so California for him. Hey, if you follow me on Twitter, I did post that I was going to be a little late because I was having issues with YouTube not actually loading up my live page dashboard so I can see everything and work everything. So, hey, it's not my fault. It's YouTube as it wouldn't load. Anyways, no excuses. What did you guys think of SmackDown Live tonight? If you want to call into the show, the phone number is 559-475-8473. The line is open now. We'll just start taking calls now. I know usually we wait a little bit, but screw it. Let's take calls as soon as you guys want to call in. But yeah, like I said, they did a go-home show. Nothing was really that important on this show. They did announce the kickoff match for Backlash would be Ty Dillinger versus Aiden English. And we did learn that Sami Zayn will officially be taking on Baron Corbin as well. Now, I do gotta say, there was no Shinsuke Nakamura, but he's been sporadic on television for SmackDown anyway, so that doesn't matter. But Rusev was not on the show. And let's take this call, and then I'll tell you where Rusev was. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Good, man, the home shows, they're not as good as they used to be like back then.
Not at all, at least for the past 6 months to a year.
So I remember back then they used to be real good. And that got me thinking too, like, how come SmackDown or Raw don't do the main title on, like, they defend it on the shows like they used to?
Well, they have. I mean, the first SmackDown Live, the main event was a WWE Championship match between Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
On the draft show last year.
Yeah. But back then, like, they used to do it more often.
Right. I know what you're saying. But they're trying to sell those network subscriptions, so they want you to think, oh, well, the only time I can see like a heavyweight title match is on pay-per-view or on the WWE network.
Mm-hmm. So, do you think that Jinder's gonna win it? Because probably, I think he is.
I've heard there's a really good chance. I don't know for sure, but I heard that there is a really good chance.
Well, what about the Fashion Police?
I don't think they're going to get the titles because last I heard was they wanted to have the Usos be the champs and feud with the New Day.
So they want New Day to make history again then.
Right. I don't know if they're going to hold the titles for a long time. I don't even know if they're going to get the titles at first. But they'll do the thing like they do with Alexa Bliss, how they say, oh, I'm the first person to hold the title on Raw and on SmackDown.
So, on the video that you posted earlier about Money at the Bank, I think that's a good idea, but you think people would recognize him and just put him directly?
I think they would if people aren't aware what he's talking about. I posted a video of a thought I kind of had earlier where I said, what if Adam Cole comes in and just goes straight to the main roster and they can debut him at Money in the Bank? Now, there's nothing there that I'm saying is confirmed or is going to happen. It was just a thought, and I wanted to get other people's opinion about. But I think people would recognize him. He is a big enough name now, especially over the last 8 months or so.
Mhm. And the other thing was Mike Bennett. Do you think the ones that don't see like the indie shows or TNA, you think they will recognize him?
That's going to be a tough one. I know, I mean, he's wrestled all over. He wrestled in New Japan, he's wrestled in TNA, Ring of Honor. But that one's a little tougher because at least with Adam Cole, his name was out there with the Young Bucks and with Kenny Omega. But with
Mhm.
Mike Bennett, yeah, he's tied in with his wife Maria, who is a former WWE superstar. But I think if you look at both of those, yeah, he may have a little tougher road as first coming into the WWE because he may not be as known with the normal WWE crowd.
Yeah. Because I was thinking, because I remember you said last time, probably, yeah, he might get a pop, but he might get it because of Maria, not him.
Exactly, especially with like the WWE crowd, as far as a lot of them
Mhm.
probably don't watch Ring of Honor or Impact Wrestling, and they'll just say, "Oh, hey,
Mhm.
that's Maria who was here like 7 years ago."
Yeah. Like, like me yesterday, like I'm barely watching Ring of Honor because I don't get that channel, and
Right.
that's why I can't pronounce his name and stuff.
Right.
Cause I'm getting into the Ring of Honor. Do you know like a place I can actually watch Ring of Honor, like on
Watch Wrestling
live?
20 Watch Wrestling24.net usually puts up
Mhm.
either them or just plain watchwrestling.net usually puts up the
Mhm.
Ring of Honor television shows, and then one of them usually streams the Ring of Honor pay-per-views as well, but not every single time, but most of them.
Yeah, because I have access. I think it's called like that, but they have the ones like they're like way behind.
Oh yes, Access, where they show New Japan Pro Wrestling. They are behind. They're
Yeah.
trying to get that more current and more recent. They'll probably be now, instead of being like almost a year behind, they're trying to make it where they're only 1 or 2 months behind.
Yeah, I think that's what the Ring of Honor is like. But the New Japan one is like a year behind.
Yeah, and they're trying to make the New Japan show more recent.
Yeah. Well, that's all I have today.
All right. Thanks for the call and have a great night.
You too.
All right. So if you guys are unaware and you didn't see the video we posted earlier with the news, I know all of you are always asking. Mike Bennett and Maria have supposedly, well, I don't even want to say supposedly, I'm hearing that it's pretty much official. They have signed with WWE. They are being called to SmackDown Live. They're not going to NXT, and I think that's because of Maria. They're going straight to SmackDown, and they could really show up as early as next week. What I was told and what I heard, the things that I heard was they're interested in Maria for Total Divas. They're going to bring them to the main roster, hoping to get Maria on Total Divas, because there could be one, if not, well, there is for sure one, but there could be 2 spots opening on Total Divas. Eva Marie's leaving, and so is, well, not so is, but they may be taking Paige off the show for season 7. They are interested in, of course, putting Maria on the show possibly, but they're also interested in Charlotte Flair. I don't know if she's going to agree to do the show, because if you do remember, when they first started Total Divas, they were asking all the women, who wants to do it, and Vince was like, AJ, do you want to be on this show? And she flat out told Vince, no, I don't want to do it. So Charlotte could say no. I know she's done in interviews before. She said, hey, I'm only here to be a champion, not a TV reality star. So I guess we can go from there and see exactly what they do as far as who they're going to choose to add to the new season. Let's see what you guys are saying here in the chat. We got more of you guys joining us here. We got Henry Capoza, Broken T Hall, Tim, when will WWE turn John Cena, Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, Finn Balor heel? Honestly, I don't know. Out of all of those, I can see Finn turning heel first, joining up with Gallows and Anderson. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hello?
How's it going?
This your day too? How's your day going?
Pardon? Hello? And we lost that call. All right. Let's see. Henry Capoza says, I could see Perfect 10 versus The Miracle when he debuts. That would be a good match. I can see them two having a really good match together. I0 says, you hyped for 20K? Heck yeah, I'm hyped for 20K. Can't wait to hit that 20K mark and just keep on growing here on YouTube. I think we're almost there. We are at, let me see right now. We are at 19,000. Let's see. 19,935 subscribers. So I want to say probably by Backlash, we should be at, if not over 20,000 subscribers. And that's all because of you guys helping us out, watching the videos, commenting on the videos, thumbs up in the videos, sharing the videos, posting them out on Twitter, Facebook. I mean, without you guys watching our videos and helping us get other eyeballs on these videos, I couldn't be at 20,000 subscribers in less than 2 years, and that's amazing, in all honesty. Let's see. Gertrude is asking if the betting odds for Backlash are out yet, and not that I saw before SmackDown. But let's see if they're out since SmackDown is over. Usually I don't see any till Thursday, but let's see if there are any. Would never hurt to take a look. Robert Cathy says, I'm back. Had to get real life for a second. Had to put little ones to bed. Oh, I know how that is. That's why I don't go live directly after SmackDown. I go live, about an hour after SmackDown or so. Well, actually, it's 2 hours if you really think about it. Anyways. No betting odds that I can see yet for Backlash. Like I said, I usually don't see like legit betting odds till Thursday. So if we see anything before then, or I always post betting odd videos, so we'll have them up for you for sure. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey.
Hello?
On the whole turning Dean Ambrose heel thing, I don't think that's going to happen. Well, they're not going to completely turn him heel, but I think, probably, I don't know, be like an anti-hero or something like that.
Okay, kind of like a Steve Austin kind of thing?
Maybe. Might be one of the types who's kind of a face, but, shades of gray mixed in there, something like that.
Right. Kind of like when they were trying to do Roman Reigns versus the Authority last year.
Yeah, something like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And also on the whole Total Divas thing, I think that show needs to be canceled. I'm sorry.
Pardon? They got canceled?
No, I think they should be canceled. There's no word out yet if it's coming back or not.
Well, as of today, they were going forward with having season 7. Eva Marie is not coming back, and they're possibly looking at putting. They want to. She hasn't. I don't know if she's agreed or not, but they have on their list of who they want. They want Charlotte.
Ooh, I don't know if Charlotte would do it.
I don't know if she would do it.
If she did, but
I know she did a Sam Roberts interview recently where she said that she's not here to be a reality star. She's here to be a champion.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she would agree to do it.
I don't know either.
I know fans have been trying to say that they want Sasha Banks, but I know that they're also interested. They're also interested in Maria Kanellis, like I said. So we'll have to wait and see.
Wow.
They could have 2 spots opening if they don't bring back Paige.
Right. Well, I think Paige is over it. She's, I don't know, just not into it anymore.
No.
She's finished with it. Thank you.
Not a problem. Have a good night. Thanks for the call.
Thank you.
All right, I do got to give a shout out to Robert Cathy, who just gave us a $5 super chat donation. He says, thanks for the outstanding shows, best wrestling channel on YouTube. Again, I really do appreciate that. If anybody else would like to help us out here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited on YouTube, you can do so by doing what Robert did. If you're in the live stream, you can hit that super chat button and donate. You can also donate on our GoFundMe at gofundme.com/helpupgradepwu. You can do it that way if you aren't here live. And also if you don't got the money, but you got the time, you can always go to gawkbox.com/PWUnlimited. Just go there, interact with our website, as far as you can download an app to your phone or tablet, watch a 15, 30-second video, and then their advertisers tip me, depending on what you do as far as interacting with their website. And finally, if you want to get one of our t-shirts, link is in the description for our TeePublic store, and any of our t-shirt designs can also be purchased as a sticker, on a cell phone case, on a coffee mug. I mean, the merchandise that we have there is endless. Just check it out. Again, link is in the description for our TeePublic merchandise store. BFG WWE Review says, whoa, hold on. Oh, he's asking about Finn Balor. The relationship between Finn Balor and Carl Anderson. They're like best friends. They're like closer than best friends. They're like brothers. And if you guys didn't see the WWE 24 special last night, Finn Balor was training for his comeback. He had been given, I think by this time, the all clear. And he was at the Performance Center and got a phone call, a FaceTime from Carl Anderson. And at the end, he was like, all right, I'll see you, baby. And I think it's just a joke between them. I don't think it's anything where, you can say that he's gay or anything. No, I think it's just a joke between them where he calls him that. And, yeah, so nothing to look into there. Henry Caputo says, I think Rusev will show up at Backlash and attack Orton after he retains. As far as Rusev goes, Rusev was not on Smackdown tonight because he was at a hockey game. He was at the Nashville Predators hockey game, as he noted on Twitter. So, yeah, I mean, I was kind of thinking, Rusev's not on the show tonight. It doesn't hurt anything other than they did advertise him. Rusev's not going to be, planned into anything for Backlash that I know of. Maybe we do see him attack the champion afterwards. You say Randy Orton retains. Okay. But what if Randy Orton doesn't retain? Then we can get Rusev versus Jinder Mahal at Money in the Bank. Oh, Lord, I don't want to see that. Anyways. So, yeah, Rusev not coming up, being there tonight, that's perfectly fine. Rusev needs to be there next week, though. Rusev was let's see. Chief Cheeto says, do you think WWE will get the broken gimmick eventually? I just think it's going to take some time. Robert Kelly says all the Bullet Clubs are best of friends. Oh, yeah, they're all really close, especially Gallows, Anderson, AJ, and Finn. Those guys, I don't know how close AJ and Finn are, but like AJ and Finn or AJ, Gallows, and Anderson, they're really close because they spent 2 years just together nonstop in Japan. And then Gallows, Anderson, and Finn were together even before that. As far as with the Bullet Club, Finn left, AJ came in, took Finn's spot in the Bullet Club. So honestly, Finn and AJ haven't even really, had much time to spend together if you really think about it. Because, like I said, Finn left to Japan, came to WWE, was in NXT. So then AJ was there for 2 years with the Bullet Club, came to WWE, main roster. Finn's still on NXT. Then when the brand split happens, AJ goes to SmackDown, Finn goes to Raw. So, yeah, and then Finn gets hurt. So, yeah, I don't know how close of friends Finn and AJ are. But as far as AJ with Gallows and Anderson, super close. As far as Finn with Gallows and Anderson, especially Finn and Anderson, those guys have been tight for years. But let's get going with the SmackDown review. So SmackDown opened up with the Kevin Owens highlight reel. Owens introduced us to the new and improved highlight reel and proclaimed that the original host of the show will never, ever be seen again. He replayed footage of his attack on Chris Jericho from a couple weeks ago and said that the only list Jericho is on now is the injured list. Owens claims that he would beat AJ at Backlash. Owens was about to introduce his guest in French, but was interrupted by AJ Styles. JBL made a quip about Styles not being able to speak French and then he can barely speak English. Styles couldn't believe Owens would steal Jericho's show. And they had some spotlights on Styles, which gave him a weird glow. They eventually fixed it. It's kind of weird. But that's the second technical error already in this show. Styles said he couldn't speak French, but announced in English that he would take the U.S. title back to the good old U.S. of A. when he beats Kevin Owens this weekend at Backlash, before he was interrupted by Jinder Mahal. Mahal said that he was supposed to be the special guest tonight on the highlight reel. Mahal quoted Mahatma Gandhi, that's right, Mahatma Gandhi, and said he would beat Styles tonight and Orton on Sunday. Owens says Styles would lose tonight and on Sunday. Styles jumped into the ring to go after Owens, but Owens bailed, going to commentary as they did start the first match of the night, Jinder Mahal versus AJ Styles. So like I said, Owens was on commentary, put over Mahal as a very dangerous threat to Randy Orton's championship. And yeah, said that, I think Jinder's going to be the new champion. I don't think Randy can outlast him, and this and that. The Bollywood boys were there at ringside. Styles used a version of the yes kicks as the crowd chanted USA. The Singh brothers were about to interfere and distract. The Singh brothers were about to interfere, and the distraction allowed Mahal to hit a high knee for a 2 count. Mahal had control after the break, as the crowds were chanting for Styles. Very, very AJ crowd, if you would, expect. Styles slipped out of a superplex attempt, but Mahal cut him off with a kick to the face. Styles followed with a drop kick and came back with strikes, baseball slide, sliding forearm for a 2 count. Mahal cut him off yet once again and kicked him in the face for a near fall. Styles did hit a Pele kick, clothesline, fireman's carry neckbreaker for a near fall. Styles set up the phenomenal forearm, but the Singh brothers distracted the referee just long enough for Kevin Owens to hit him in the leg with the United States Championship. Mahal followed this up with his new full Nelson Slam finisher, getting the pinfall. And it was a good, 16 minute match. Then we got another video. This was a little different than the other Lana videos as far as there was nothing new in this video. It was a compilation of all the other Lana videos. So I thought it was going to say, Lana coming next week or Lana coming in 2 weeks. And then it just said, Lana is coming to Smackdown Live. Like, really? We can't get a date yet? I mean, come on. Henry Capoza says, do you think they will ever turn Becky Lynch heel? Becky actually said in a recent interview she would like to turn heel. She has been heel slightly in NXT when she was with Sasha Banks, but other than that, I don't think she's been heel at all in the WWE. Christy Wilson says Styles would make a good U.S. champion. I highly doubt that he will have a reign as long as Ambrose did when he was U.S. champion. Honestly, I don't think AJ is going to get the U.S. title. I think AJ is going to lose to Kevin Owens and then somehow become number one contender for the WWE championship, possibly around Battleground or SummerSlam. I think Battleground's a SmackDown pay-per-view. Broken T Hall says, should Triple H or Shane McMahon run WWE after Vince retires from WWE, or have both Shane and Hunter run it together? Triple H is getting the company. Once Vince retires, Triple H is taking over full-time. Him and Stephanie, mainly Triple H, though. Yeah, that's the going thing right now. Andre Cecilia said, did you see Talking Smack? No, I did not. Did anything of note happen? That's what I'm asking you. Did anything of note happen? I did not see Talking Smack yet. Michael Brent said Eric Rowan is acting like a clown on Talking Smack. Now, clown as far as like a fool, or a clown as far as like bozo, red nose, big hair clown? Because I have not, like I said, I have not seen Talking Smack yet. We then had on SmackDown the Fashion Files. Fandango looked over some fashion felonies when Tyler Breeze walked in under disguise dressed as a janitor. Fandango didn't recognize him until Breeze revealed himself. Breeze had more fashion felonies, including one from Baron Corbin, because he has 3 shirts and all 3 have wolves on them. Breeze held up the Usos' day one-ish shirt, which Fandango read as Day One is H. and they weren't sure what that really meant. Breeze suddenly realized how good the Usos were and started freaking out, so Fandango had to slap him out of it. Fandango said, "You're a prince. Prince Pretty. The prettiest of all princes." Kind of a cool line there, I thought. Breeze then thanked him for that, and Fandango said they would be wearing the tag titles on Sunday. They concluded with a freeze frame high five. The crowd was cheering when they turned the crowd noise back on. And this was the best episode of the Fashion Files that I've seen so far. And the crowd sounded into it. I don't know if they were chanting for somebody else or cheering for something that went on in the crowd. Well, yeah. Last kicker says Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, SummerSlam, Nikki versus Charlotte. No. Brie's not coming back anytime soon, that's for sure. She just had her baby. Nikki, I haven't heard anything. I mean, she could, but it's kind of quick. Andre says Evil Clown. Really? I'm going to have to watch that once we're done with this. Crazy Steve Clown? Huh. Carol Owler says maybe they will team Rowan up with Crazy Steve if he's signed. Last I heard, he's 90% signed. They're waiting on his medicals before they can finalize a deal. Christy Wilson says, do you think Corbin will be in contention for the WWE Championship at some point? Oh, yeah, at some point. I mean, I really can see Baron Corbin winning Money in the Bank. After the Fashion Files, we had a backstage interview with Randy Orton. He told Renee Young that people don't like Mahal because he's an ass, not because of all the stuff he said. We then had Breezango versus the Clones. Fandango picked up the win for his team again this week with a Falcon Arrow. And I think because he's been using the Falcon Arrow, that's why they didn't give it to Seth Rollins as a finisher, and he's got that knee. I mean, they could always say, Seth's a bigger star. We'll give him the Falcon Arrow. You can find something else. But I think Fandango's been doing that Falcon Arrow for a while now. Just they haven't been winning, so people haven't been noticing. Anyways, after the match, the Usos came out, and they cut a pretty wild promo. I couldn't understand some of it. They were kind of rambling for a while. But their response to the Fashion Files is that the Usos penitentiary, I think is what they said. Jimmy and Jay said Breezango were going to trial at Backlash. It's not paranoia, it's the Usos. This might be the best build for any match at Backlash, as the two teams have actually been going back and forth and taking digs at each other, to be honest. Henry says Dolph either needs a new gimmick or WWE should go, or he should go to another promotion. WWE isn't booking him that well anymore. Yeah, I don't know what their thing is with Dolph. I mean, he's a 5-time Intercontinental Champion, 2-time World Heavyweight Champion. We'll have to see exactly what happens with the match at Backlash. If he can have a good match with Shinsuke, which I would only assume they're going to have a good match, then maybe it could benefit Dolph if he does well and everything is received well. So maybe this could be something as a stepping stone for Dolph. I don't see Dolph winning. There's a 99% chance Dolph will lose. Back on Smackdown, we had the contract signing, which didn't make any sense why we needed a contract signing at all. It's not a championship match or like some sort of hold harmless agreement thing like we had with Triple H and Seth Rollins. But anyways, Shane was in the ring, introduced the welcoming committee, Natalya, Carmella, Tamina with Ellsworth. He did refer to them as the welcoming committee, like I said. He then called out for Charlotte, Becky, and Naomi. They all came out separately. Natalya called them pathetic, and they would prove just who the best there is, and best there was, and best there ever will be. Natalya, Tamina, and Carmella all signed their contracts. Lynch said that there was no chance she was joining their goon squad, and she looked forward to slapping them all in the face at Backlash, including James Ellsworth. Naomi told them to focus on their next hair appointments because she's snatching them all bald, including James Ellsworth. Charlotte said that they had a problem with her since she debuted, but her team would solve that problem at Backlash. Charlotte then turned to Naomi and said that she would take the title after that. Ellsworth then grabbed a mic, claimed that Lynch wanted to be with him, but he had to throw cold water on her hot fire. He informed Charlotte that she had not shot at him either because he was the prince to the princess of Staten Island. He told Naomi that Carmella was going for the title. Naomi grabbed Ellsworth, but Carmella smashed her face against the table. Shane then booked Naomi versus Carmella. Let's see. Christy Wilson says, I think Ziggler needed to be released. I mean, I don't know about be released. I honestly think that they should send him to NXT. I know they're not going to do it, but do like they did with Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. Send him back to NXT for just a little while and let him revitalize himself. I mean, it worked wonders. Wonders for Zack Ryder. Worked wonders for Tyson Kidd. I mean, send him down there. Let him work with somebody, I don't know, Hideo Itami, Chris Hero, Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong and Dolph Ziggler can have some great matches together. Let him work with somebody down there. Not only is it going to help maybe get Dolph back over with the crowd, but he can help a younger star down there benefit as far as working with a vet in the WWE. Now, yeah, they've got vets down there they can work with, Chris Hero or Cassius Ohno, Roderick Strong, Eric Young, Bobby Roode. But as far as a vet in WWE that knows that WWE style and knows what WWE expects, but I doubt they'll send Dolph back down there. We then had the Carmella Naomi match. Naomi was in control and went for the rear view, but Ellsworth pulled Carmella out of the ring. The referee then tossed Ellsworth from ringside as they went to commercial. Naomi was still in full control when we came back from commercial. They traded kicks to the legs, and then Naomi got the better of the two. Carmella drew her outside and nailed her with a super kick before taking over. Naomi came back with kicks of her own, elbows, jawbreaker, all that jazz. She went to the top rope, but Natalya and Tamina distracted her, so the ref tossed them as well. They headed up the ramp, but turned back around and attacked Charlotte and Becky. The ref allowed the match to continue. Naomi hit Tamina with a super kick, but the distraction allowed Carmella to use a schoolboy for the win. Broken T Hall says, who should win SmackDown Money in the Bank, Drew McIntyre or Adam Cole? Well, Drew McIntyre's NXT. He's not coming up anytime soon, as he's most likely getting the NXT title match in Brooklyn SummerSlam weekend. And as far as Adam Cole goes, I know I did post that video earlier asking what you guys would think if Adam Cole were to come to SmackDown and be in Money in the Bank, but I don't think it's going to happen. I honestly think if Adam Cole doesn't come straight to the main roster, which, like I said, I don't think is going to happen, just a cool little idea that I did have, I think it's going to be Baron Corbin. Maybe Shinsuke. Maybe AJ. But right now I really do see Baron Corbin possibly getting that Money in the Bank. Let's see. Okay, I don't know what that's all about. Let's go on then. We then had a video for the New Day. They said, call your mammy, call your pappy, we're coming to SmackDown Live. And then it just said they're coming. Didn't say when. I have heard they could come as early as next week, but we don't know yet. Dolph Ziggler then did a really, really good promo. I love these old school style promos where there's a guy backstage all by himself, and he's just looking in the camera. They did one of these with Braun recently on Raw. He's just looking in the camera and talking about his opponent for the pay-per-view. Dolph said that he never understood the hype around Shinsuke Nakamura. He admitted to being ignorant when he called Nakamura a nobody. He just wanted to understand what people saw in him. He did some research, and he put together a video clip of Nakamura's biggest accomplishments in the WWE. So the video started up and it was like Shinsuke's entrance video, or Shinsuke Nakamura, the words came up on the screen. And then it just goes, beep, and it said, footage not found. Ziggler then played a video package of his own career highlights, talking about how he's a 5-time Intercontinental Champion, how he's a Money in the Bank briefcase winner, how he's a 2-time World Heavyweight Champion. Ziggler said none of his accomplishments will bring him more joy than spitting in the face of the people who turned on him and beating Shinsuke Nakamura before he even begins. We then had Sami Zayn informed by Dasha that he's been granted his match at Backlash against Baron Corbin. Zayn wasn't sure why Corbin targeted him, but figured it out. Corbin knows he can't keep Zayn down, and that's a threat to his ego. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Baron Corbin comes up from behind and just levels Sami Zayn. Corbin advised Zayn that he should learn how to stay down, otherwise Corbin will put him down permanently. They then announced that Naomi, Charlotte, Becky, Rowan, Mahal, and the Singh brothers would all be on Talking Smack tonight. We then had the main event, WWE Champion Randy Orton taking on Baron Corbin. The announcers before the match started did congratulate Brie Bella and Daniel Bryan on the birth of their daughter, Birdie Joe. Orton started the match with a headlock, which is kind of funny if you looked at all the stuff that Orton was tweeting over the weekend with Rip Rogers and Will Ospreay and Bubba Ray Dudley. So the headlock spot to start the whole thing off was kind of funny. They traded counters leading to Orton attempting an RKO, but Corbin pushed him off. Orton tossed Corbin to the outside, but he jumped back in and nailed a clothesline. Commercial break. Corbin worked him over for a while, and the crowd started chanting, "Let's go Randy." It seemed like a small part of the crowd tried chanting Randy sucks, but it didn't really go over well as the majority of the crowd was behind Randy Orton. And really, the SmackDown Live crowds have been behind Randy Orton recently. Like when I was at SmackDown a few weeks ago, that was a very pro Randy Orton crowd. So when people say that, oh, Orton's the boring champion and the crowd's not behind him and nobody cares about Randy Orton as champion, it's not true. Because like when I said, when I went to SmackDown a few weeks ago, Randy Orton got a bigger pop than Shinsuke Nakamura. Anyways, Orton came back with a power slam and a draping DDT. Corbin blocked another RKO attempt, though, and hit a deep 6 for a 2 count. For the third time in the match, Corbin tried the spot where he got dumped from the ring and run right back in, but Orton saw it coming this time and nailed an RKO for the win. Very, very good sounding pop once Orton did get that 1, 2, 3. Jinder Mahal came down afterwards, cut another lifeless promo. The crowd screamed as the Singh brothers jumped Orton from behind. Orton got the better of all three momentarily, but then Mahal jumped him from behind as he attempted a double draping DDT on the Singh brothers. With the boots to Randy, Mahal finished him off with his full Nelson Slam and then posed with the championship as the show went off the air. And like I said earlier, not that really good of a go-home show. The show wasn't bad. Raw was actually better this week. But as far as a go-home show that's supposed to get us excited and hyped up for the pay-per-view, didn't really do it. I mean, I was no more hyped for this show than I was before the show, which is not good, to be honest. Carol Aller says, obviously, Dolph doesn't realize that NXT is part of the WWE. That's the gimmick. That's the whole thing. Like, oh, you haven't done anything on the main roster. I don't know who you are. I don't watch NXT. You know what I mean? It's the whole, it's like, it could be like a rib on Vince because everyone knows Vince doesn't really watch NXT. When there's somebody down there that they say, hey, you need to look at this guy for main roster potential as far as like, should we bring him up? Then Vince will check somebody out. But from everything I've heard, Vince doesn't watch NXT. So maybe that could have been a little jab or rib at Vince saying, you know, oh, well, whatever you've done in NXT don't count because it ain't the main roster. Let's see. What are you guys saying here in the chat? Last Kicker says, love your YouTube channel. Keep it up. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Henry Capuzza. Drew should win at TakeOver. Brooklyn 3 and Rude go to SmackDown. I think there could be, depending on, well, we don't know this for sure yet, but I think that they should put the title on Drew McIntyre and then bring Bobby Roode up. Now, will that happen? I don't know. We're going to have to wait till Saturday. Bobby Roode should retain over Hideo Itami, and then we'll see what the build will be going towards Brooklyn. If the build seems in favor of Drew McIntyre, cool. If it doesn't, then we'll have to wait and see. I don't know what the long term for Bobby Roode is as far as him coming to the main roster. Haven't heard anything on that other than they like Bobby Roode in NXT as far as he's different than the other champions they've had because all the other champions have just been like, oh, I'm NXT champion, this and that. But Bobby Roode is champion. He's more of like, I'm the champion and this is my show because of it. Not just like, oh, I'm the champion in NXT. No, Bobby Roode makes you know, like, I'm the NXT champion, so NXT is my show. Well, I like that. Christy Wilson says, I think Naomi wins at Backlash. I can see the baby faces going over, especially since the heels have gotten the better of the baby faces a lot over the last couple of weeks. So I can see the baby faces winning. Maybe Naomi gets the pin. I don't know. Name Furtus, I think that's how you say it. Where is Ty Dillinger? Ty Dillinger is going to be on the kickoff show for Backlash, taking on Aiden English. All right. Well, I guess that's going to do it. Cutting it short here tonight because there's not much more to talk about, to be honest. But yeah, that was That was Smackdown. The go-home show for Smackdown, or for Backlash. Not much build for Backlash. I mean, could be a fact that they just got too many pay-per-views, and they're just trying to rush everything through. Robert Cathy does say here, I think Nakamura will be good for a while, then the fans will get tired of him. WWE needs to strike while the iron is hot. That's very true, because honestly, it happened in NXT. Towards the end of his time in NXT, you can really tell that the crowds were just kind of like, Nakamura. I'm going to sing his entrance, and that's about it. Especially on the NXT television show. But the issue with that is because they run the same loops down there in Florida, everybody sees everybody so often that it's just like, oh, it's Nakamura again. He's doing the same stuff, nothing different. So the people at Full Sail, it's 90% of the time the same people going to every taping. So I can understand where in NXT you can tell from when he started to when he was done in NXT, you can see that progression where the fans were kind of just like falling off of the bandwagon, I guess you can say. But I can see it also happening on the main roster as well. And maybe it's because he doesn't, I don't know. I don't know exactly how you can piece it all together, but I can see it possibly happening. Christy Wilson says, do you think Asuka will be brought up to the main roster? Honestly, I don't know. I don't see her losing the title on Sunday. And I don't know who she's supposed to defend against at TakeOver Brooklyn. Maybe Ember Moon? I know that Asuka has beaten the legit Goldberg streak, as Goldberg was 173-0. Asuka is now 174-0. But yeah, I guess that is going to do it tonight, guys, for this SmackDown Live review live show. Again, if you do want to help us out, you can always do so by heading over to gawkbox.com/PWUnlimited. You can also donate if you're here on the live stream. And hit up our TeePublic store if you want to get any of our t-shirts. Last couple things here in the live chat. Carol Aller says, it was a bit poor tonight. Let's hope that Backlash is up to the task. I mean, I hope so. They're going to have a couple good matches. I mean, let's see. Sami Zayn, Baron Corbin should be an all-right match. Kevin Owens and AJ Styles should be a great match. Nakamura, Dolph Ziggler should be a really, really good match. I honestly don't know what to expect from the championship match as far as Orton and Jinder, and then the Fashion Police versus the Usos. That's just going to be a whatever match. So Robert Cathy says, why are the go-home shows so damn bad? I don't know. And it's been like this for like at least 6 months, if not longer. Year? So go-home show is supposed to get you hyped, and none of them are getting us hyped. But anyways, thank you guys for joining me live tonight. May 16th, Tuesday, SmackDown Live review should be live again Friday morning to talk all the news this week in professional wrestling and talk about the build-up, that anything that does come up as far as NXT TakeOver Chicago on Saturday and Backlash on Sunday. Again, thank you guys for joining me. Appreciate it as always.